Hello friends, I'm Randall Franks, Officer Randy from TV's In the Heat of the Night and a bluegrass artist. Welcome to Bluegrass Legends. I want to share with you a visit that I had with a longtime friend a few years ago. Back in 2007, I did an interview with Dr. Ralph Stanley. Now, as I was coming up in bluegrass music, the legendary performers like Bill Monroe, Jim and Jesse, Lewis family, among others, were some of those that I see as encouragers. The Stanley brothers is a sound that just reached deep into my soul. I was blessed as I came up to get to know Dr. Ralph Stanley and the wonderful musicians who made up the Clinch Mountain Boys. I would watch in awe at festivals, seeing the performance of the Clinch Mountain Boys, Curly Ray Klein and Jack Cook and Dr. Ralph, and all of the great pickers. I'll never forget the very first time that I stood side by side with Dr. Ralph on stage. We were performing for about 10,000 people, and it was a big country music festival. I was in awe of being around Dr. Ralph, and he always blessed me. He was very kind. He always encouraged me in my music. And as our friendship grew through the years, I played with him many times on stage and got to produce him in the studio as well as record with him. I was very blessed to have him in my life. I hope you'll enjoy our visit today. And as I look back on that friendship with Dr. Ralph Stanley, and he answers a few questions that I always wondered about.
The song Rank Strangers that you and Carter recorded years ago, it really has a crossover appeal in the gospel music field, and several people have recorded it through the years. What do you think gave that song its appeal outside of bluegrass?
Well, I don't know. That's a good song, and it's got a good melody. It's got good words. I've had so many people ask me what a rank stranger was. And of course, we did record that, and we heard of a quartet in Tennessee do that song, and we did record that years ago, and it's been one of our most popular gospel songs, and we get requests everywhere we go, and I just don't know really what is the reason for that, except it's just a good song and I guess a good meaning.
Perhaps it's the story of everybody wanting to go back home, finding that what they left is not exactly there anymore. I guess maybe it's that feeling.
I guess that would cover it better than anything.
Like so many of your contemporaries going back to the 40s, you've worked very hard through the years working the road and going out and basically, getting enough money to keep up a band and a bus and get by with your family. And when you hit your 70s, you sort of hit what I guess would be categorized as a, quote, superstar status, and gained a whole bunch of new fans, possibly maybe you described as the MTV generation. We've seen a similar phenomenon with Tony Bennett in a different genre, obviously. Did you ever anticipate getting to do some of the things or any of the opportunities that have come up for you in the last 8 to 10 years?
No, not really. When that old brother Where Art Thou came along, and I got to sing the song "Oh Death" on the soundtrack. I think that really put it icing on the cake for me. Of course, I had recorded some CDs, with about all traditional country artists. It wasn't hurting me, and it helped me a lot, And then I give that soundtrack of "Old Brother Where Art Thou" the most credit for it.
In the last decade, you've had the Opry induction, which was long overdue, by the way. They've built that museum for you up near your home. You've got the National Heritage Fellowship, the award from the Library of Congress, and the list just goes on in the Grammys. And do you have a favorite thing? I mean, is there one award that you say, this is what it was all for?
I guess my highlight would be when I won the Grammy for the Best Country Vocalist of the Year. As far as I know, I don't know of any, singer like me, to old-time bluegrass or whatever, to be nominated and win a country category. And I guess that was about my highlight. Of course, I enjoyed getting on the Grand Ole Opry. You know, any entertainer, I think, looks forward to that.
If you were to pick one song, no, that's a tough question. Many songs that you've recorded. If you pick one song, what would be the one that you'd say is your favorite?
Well, you're right. That's a hard question.
Mm-hmm.
I've been asked that before, but you know, that Man of Constant Sorrow would be hard to turn down. That's, of course, I didn't sing it on the soundtrack of Old Brother, but I recorded that way back in 1948 and kept it alive, you know, all through the years, and that might be the song.
What do you see as being, I guess, if the music historians were looking at your career and saying, what would you say has been your greatest contribution?
Everybody tells me that, you know, and I guess that's right, they've never been a voice just like mine. It goes way back. I know when I first started that people said I sounded like I was 100 years old. And it's just an old-time voice that I'm proud that God gave me. And I don't care where you go, you'll know. I've never heard another voice like it. And I guess it's my voice much more than music, you know. You hear my music, you know who it is without, you know, looking at you. And like you say, there's so much music that if you listen to, you don't know who it is unless you're looking.
I certainly appreciate your times that we've gotten to visit through the years. I just appreciate all of the support that you've given me.
Well, I'm glad to do that, and it's been certainly good to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Friends, thank you for visiting with me on Bluegrass Legends, Dr. Ralph Stanley and Randall Franks. Now, if you've enjoyed this interview and would like to have a printed version, you'll find it in my book, Encouragers to Walking with the Masters. You can find this at randallfranks.com/store. Get a copy today. Now, I also want to thank my friend Ron Eldridge for providing some of the photos that you saw of the Stanley brothers in this particular project, and also Donna Tracy, who took some of the photos of Ralph and me through the years. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time on Bluegrass Legends.